The 2019-2020 NFL season gives a whole new chance for all of the teams. I haven't seen many of these NFL season prediction videos, but the ones I've seen absolutely sucked. 99% of those videos said that the Packers will have a record of 11-5, while the Bears don't even make the playoffs. Okay, let's get into the video. NFL season predictions. Let's start off with the AFC North. I have the Ravens leading the division at 11-5. I don't really have any explanation for this, other than the fact that Lamar Jackson is very young and promising. Which, actually, I think this is a better record than last year. That's all I can say. Then I have the Browns at 10-6 getting a wildcard spot. They're just a great team that's very promising with OBJ and some new rising stars. Next, on the other hand, I have the Bengals at 8-8, yet again missing the playoffs. They just don't have anything to make them go anywhere. That's really all I can say. Then in the very last spot of the division, I have the Steelers at 7-9. They've lost all their stars except for Juju and Ben Roethlisberger. Now let's go over to the AFC East. So I have the Patriots winning the division, but not at the record y'all would think it would be. So I have the Patriots record at 10-6 hosting a wild card. Gronk retired and Tom Brady is how old? Now I have the Bills at 10-6 barely missing the playoffs. Josh Allen is honestly one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league. Okay, so I have the Jets at 7-9. I don't really have a reason for saying this except for they had a really bad season last year. So that puts the Dolphins at the back of the division at they still haven't figured out how to win. That's all I can say. So I have the Houston Texans winning the NFC South at 12-4. Yeah, I don't really know where that came from. Next I have the Titans at 9-7, missing the playoffs yet again. So the Colts had a great year last year, but something's telling me they're not going to do any better than 9-7. I just don't see it. So yet again at the tail of the division, I have the Jaguars. Bortles hasn't shown any signs of improvement from 2 years ago when they had a great season, and now teams have found his weakness. I have the Jags at 3-13, even worse than last year. Alright, last four teams in the AFC. So obviously I have the Chiefs winning the division at 12-4, earning first in the AFC. Even though they've lost some stars and Tyreek Hill has a bit of a suspension, there is still the Chiefs. Next I have the Chargers at 10-6. Philip Rivers is getting old. That's really all I can say. Then at 7-9, I have the Raiders. They haven't shown any huge improvements in the offseason other than the pickup of Antonio Brown, and last year they just played terrible. Then at the back of the division, I have the Broncos at 4-12. The Broncos aren't a bad team at all, but their schedule is very tough this year. And if they didn't have that schedule, I would probably have them ahead of the Raiders. Now let's go on to the NFC. So I have the Cowboys winning the NFC East at 11-5. Last year, if you guys remember, they were terrible at the beginning of the year, and then they turned their season all around and made the playoffs. Then I have the Redskins at 10-6, off of a turnaround season. If you guys don't know, Case Keenum has recently signed to the Redskins, and I think he'll have another really good year. Many of you guys may disagree with this, and I may be just biased against the Eagles, but I have them at 6-10. They lost Nick Foles, and the Bears picked up a kicker. That's all I can say. Then at the tail of the division, I have the Giants at 3-13. Tell me a high record for them. Now let's move on to my team, the Bears division. So I have the Bears winning the division at 13-3. Come on, who are they going to lose to? They picked up a kicker. Then I have the Vikings at 9-7, yet again missing the playoffs. Then we have the Packers. God, I hate the Packers. I have the Packers at 7-9. That's all I can say, except in the back of the division, I have the Lions at 5-11. I was just really waiting to get my opinion out about this division. Then in the NFC South, I have the Saints winning the division again. I have them at 12-4. Next, I have the Panthers at 9-7. I have nothing to say. So then, I have the Falcons at 8-8, and then the Buccaneers at 5-11. Finally, the last division. Last but not least, I have the NFC West. So I have the Rams winning the division yet again at 11-5. Then I have the Seahawks at 10-6. The Seahawks had a disappointing season last year, but there's nothing stopping them this year except for their kicker. Wait, should I be saying that? Then I have the Cardinals at 7-8-1. Yeah, that's just a copy of the Browns last year. Then I have the 49ers at the back of the division at 4-11-1. Okay, we're done. Thank you for watching. Make sure to Cody Parkey cake that like button and subscribe. Bye.